going on out there, YouTube? So SCL0320 representing JVS. Number 10, Infinity War Challenge. This, of course, is one of the most funniest, action-packed extravaganzas events of the MCU that caught everybody off guard. I'm talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy. Alright, so what's going on, guys? I love Guardians of the Galaxy, man. Like, it's still... Actually, to be quite honest with you, like, I put this movie on very frequently. Like, every few months, legit, I'll just put it on just to watch it, like, on the background, because one of the things that you open it up, you start looking at it, and you're like, wow, this is a foreign world, like, this is outer space, it looks so beautiful, and then all of a sudden, this guy takes his helmet, and it unfolds in yourself, and you're sitting there saying, wait, I know that funny guy, Parks and Rec. What is he doing? What's he doing right now? And then all of a sudden he starts to break out into a dance. And he starts to dance with the creature right next to him, and all of a sudden you are immersed into this experience of a lifetime. And I am telling you that Peter Quill is one of the most funniest. Chris Pratt is one of the funniest, charismatic, fun guys I've seen come to the MCU. Probably the only one I would think maybe rival him would be my man Ant-Man, which is Paul Rudd. But I loved the opening of Peter Quill. The thing that defined this was so well is that they took this serious tone in the very beginning of having Peter Quill as a young boy watching his mother dying. And like he just couldn't handle it. He couldn't tell his mother goodbye. And he runs out, and then all of a sudden, like, he just gets taken into space. And you're like, this is such a serious tone. And you're like, they're not gonna, they're not gonna let this lay over. They're just gonna go and like it. By the end of the film, the very first thing that his mom tells him to do in the very opening of the movie is take my hand, Peter, say goodbye. Is the same exact payoff at the end of the movie that you're just like, it gets to your emotional strings. And I was just like blown away by Guardians of the Galaxy. The cast alone, you would never think that this cast would work. When you got Chris Pratt, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, and Michael Rooker, Karen Gillan, and Lee Pace, you're like, what is gonna go down with this? And I just gotta say, they work functionally perfect. Like, it's like the most dysfunctional family. Like, the way that they even interact in the very beginning of meeting each other. Like, Groot and Rocket are working together to try to make a payoff. Chris Pratt's character, Peter Quill, is really just trying to get a payoff. Gamora, or Zoe Saldana's character, really just trying to get away from her dad and trying to get away from that whole situation. And it's just kind of just like, what in the world? How are they going to really meet together? And they all technically meet together in prison because they all get in trouble together. But it's like, when you get to the prison scene, right? And all of a sudden, like, Rocket was talking to Peter Quill, and Peter Quill was like, yo, like, I'm with you guys. And, like, somebody tries to jump at Peter. He's like, this is my dude. You know what I'm saying? And, like, Groot takes his two fingers, takes this guy, and it's like, oh, they ain't afraid to kill people. Oh, they are deadly. Like, some of the things that Groot did in this movie, like, legit, they were taking some people out. Rocket is, like, his name identified and personified. I think that Bradley Cooper does a great job of doing the voice acting for Rocket. And just the way that they utilize him as a real man, technically, but also as, a raccoon so perfectly. It's so weird, a blend of CG and just excellence when it comes to the voice acting side of things, because it was just like every single joke was just like, it hit. Chris Pratt the same exact way with him and his Walkman, him trying to hit on Gamora, him and his one-liners talking about like his ship, him flirting with people, him trying to coordinate with people, but at the same exact time the sincerity behind Peter Quill, what he represented, what he was trying to get them to do and to strive towards by the end of the movie. His relationship with Yondu, Rooker, like the way that he enveloped the movie, like it was like this dude is a straight up scoundrel. Like he is the lowest of the low, but you can tell underneath it all that he loves Peter Quill. Like he really cares, and that does reign over into Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which I'll bring up in another time. But I thought that this movie just worked perfectly. Like it was the perfect blend of action, drama, real tangible drama that doesn't have to be reneged or re-joked over. Like when there's a serious moment that's happening, it's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see somebody about to die, you worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Like when Gamora was like in the heat of space and like Peter Quill took his helmet off and put it over her, I was like, yo, that's a man. That's a man, like legit. Like, so it's like when moments like that happen, and this is just so dope. And then you got Lee Pace as Ronan the Accuser. And the first thing you see him doing is sitting there bathing in some substance. And then you find out the substance is the blood of the people that he killed. That's what he sleeps in? Like, what kind of man is this? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, who else, bro? Oh, man. Dave Bautista is Drax. He's just hilarious. He doesn't understand what literal communication means. It's just so funny, bro. And then at the same exact time, you feel for him when he starts talking about, like, his wife and his daughter and the reason why he wants to come at Thanos, why he wants to kill Ronan. And it all falls down then eventually on the final moment where you see Thanos talking to Ronan. And I was like, when it was the beginning of the movie, like in the middle of the movie, I think, and you're sitting there watching it and you're like, this man is serious. You do not want to take this man. And it's just like, if you don't watch any other movie to prepare yourself for Infinity War, I would recommend Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Panther, and probably Avengers 1. Or if not, if you want to look at Avengers 1, Civil War, and Black Panther, it'll prepare you completely for Infinity War. But this one was really showing the stature and the backdrop of what Thanos has created, what these gems are about. Because the Collector, played by Benicio del Toro, talks about specifically all the different Infinity Stones, and he talks about them perfectly. So I think that this one was like even more so influential for and pivotal for Infinity War to actually succeed the way it is, because it was just blatantly put out there what this really is all meaning, especially when it goes back to Earth. You got the Nova Corps. I think Glenn Close played one of the Nova Corps Prime, I believe. She did a good job. And then the soundtrack. Oh, yo, y'all don't know, but I can put that soundtrack on anytime. Like, I love the Guardians of the Galaxy 1 soundtrack. It was just amazing. And honestly, man, like, even though Winter Soldier is a better movie than this all around, this is still one of my favorites. And I don't think I can give it anything less than 10. I know it sounds so stupid. But I have to give this a 10 too. Like, I would give it a 9.5 just to say I'm giving it a 9.5 because it's underneath Winter Soldier in my ranking. But I didn't find any fault with this movie. I love Guardians of the Galaxy, so I had to give it a 10 out of 10, okay? Hope y'all enjoyed this review. Make sure you go down to the description bar below, check us out on Stardust. Let me know what you think about Guardians of the Galaxy in your 30 seconds reaction. Make sure you put at JVS. I gotta go. Peace. And what's next is the end of Phase 2. You already know what movie it's about. You already know James Spader. Peace, guys.